In this example, we'll calculate the value of ending inventory and cost of goods sold using the perpetual inventory method. Further, we'll use valuation methods FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average method. In this example, we have an inventory record for one item, and we're shown the following details. In March 1, we open up inventory with 60 units at a cost of $70 per unit. During the month, we buy and sell units, and our job is to figure out the value that is left in ending inventory. Now, I like to take kind of a running total of my units because the units stay the same in the problems. They don't change, just the valuation amounts. So just looking at the units, we're starting with 60 units. We're adding 130 on March 9th, which gives us 190 units. On March 18th, we sell 70 units, so we have 120. March 24th, we purchase 40 units, so now there are 160. And on March 29th, we sell 100 units. So we end up with 60 units in ending inventory. No matter how we do the costing or the valuation, we're always going to have that number of units. So I always start with the units in beginning inventory, units purchased, and units sold. In our case, our beginning inventory is 60 units times a cost of $70 per unit, or $4,200. There were two purchases. We purchased 130 units at $65 per unit, or $8,450. And on March 24th, we purchased an additional 40 units at $80 for $3,200, total of $11,650. And no matter which valuation method we use, this will always be the case. So, putting this in a format, for all the methods, we'll start out with beginning inventory of 60. We have purchases of 170. That gives us goods available for sale of 230. And our costs of goods available for sale will always be $15,850. Now in the end, we sold 60, we sold 170. We ended up with ending inventory of 60, gives us our units sold 170. These costs are going to vary depending on the method that we use. But the unit and the cost of goods available for sale will not change. Okay, first, let's look at the example using the first in, first out method. Okay, think of a grocer. When a grocer stocks milk, they might have that big cooler, and they probably stock it from the back. In any case, they want the oldest inventory in front so that when you come shopping, you grab the first one, which is the oldest one. In the first in, first out inventory method, the first items in inventory, or the oldest, are treated as if they were sold first. Let's do an example using FIFO. So we started out with 60 units at $70. Okay. And you can be following along on the worksheet. Okay. Then on March 9th, 130 units were purchased at a cost of $65 per unit. So now we're adding 130 units at a cost of $65, or $8,450. What do we have in inventory now? We keep things separate, in separate layers, like a little layer cake. So in inventory, we still have the 60 units at the cost of $70. And now we've added 130 units at our new cost of $65 for 8,450 units. We've got 190 in stock. On March 18th, we sell 70. Question is, which 70 do we sell? Well, in the first in, first out method, we sell the oldest ones first. So we sold 70, we'll take 60 out of the oldest layer, which was valued or purchased at $70, and the next 10 we take out of that March 9th purchase at $65. So what's left? Well, the first layer is now gone, the 60, original 60. We took 10 out of the 130 that we purchased. So we have 120 left at a cost of $65, or a total of $7,800. Now what happens? On the 24th of March, we purchase 40 units at a cost of $80 per unit. 40 units, $80 per unit, $3,200. So what is in inventory now? Well, we have the 120 units at $65 and the new 40 units at $80. Total of 160 units in inventory now. But on March 29th, 100 are sold. The question we have, which 100? Again, we pull from the oldest layer. So in this case, we can take all 100 out of the 120 units that we have. So 100 were sold at that $65 cost, total of $6,500. What's left? Well, we had 120 at $65, we sold 100. So there are 20 left at $65, and there are 40 left at $80. So we end up with 60 units for a total of 4,500. Okay. So in our little self-check, accountants always like to have a double check built in. Here's the information from my original chart. 60 units sold, 170, well, 60 at the end, 170 sold. Sorry. Here's the information that changes based on the valuation method. If our inventory is 60 units, $4,500, Then our cost of goods sold will be the cost of goods available minus ending inventory, or $11,350. We can double check this by adding up our sold column and our cost of goods sold, $11,350, matches what we have in our self-check. In the next example, we'll go on and solve the same problem using the LIFO inventory method.